Folks in Mexico City, a little jumpy this morning after another earthquake rocked that region following the big quake on Tuesday. Yesterday's a 6.1, Tuesday's an 8.1, and we know someone who was there.
Yeah, this morning too. I mean, they're already having a 5.7 aftershock here, so these are big quakes. Carla Navarrete is with one of our photographers, Juan, who just got back from Mexico, Carla. He was there during the earthquake, and I'm just wondering, do they even know when you're on vacation, do you know where to go or what to do in that situation?
Well, speaking of that, Juan was sharing with us that he actually was at the Basilica and that morning they had a drill, specifically, ladies, because it was on the anniversary of the 1985 earthquake that killed thousands of people. So every year on that anniversary, they have a drill to kind of get tourists and residents familiar with what to do on that day. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Juan in. He brought us El Sol de Mexico. This is a newspaper down in Mexico City. Juan, thanks so much for being with us this morning. Juan's usually behind the camera, but he's joining me in front of the camera, and our viewers are getting to know you, Juan. I'm so happy you're back, and I'm happy you're safe. I saw you on Twitter immediately after. What was it like being there for you?
You know, it was really crazy just after the whole ordeal, after the whole earthquake. I remember that we ran out to the middle of the street. I remember looking at the floor, and you can see just the waves. You can see the ground shaking, and for a second, it was just hard to believe that was going on. And, you know, we were there to begin with my family. We decided to take a vacation there, and we were looking around. We were looking around the Basilica, and they had a drill that day. It was 11 o'clock, yeah. And next thing you know, so we did the drill. Everything was fine. 2-3 hours later, at about 1:15, 1:30, you start hearing the sirens again. And at first, they told us it was just a drill. Next thing you know, the building's shaking, merchandise starts hitting the floor, and we just took off running. We ran out, we went to a safe zone. I was there with my mom, my sister, my brother-in-law, and my nieces and nephews, and we were able to reunite. And we were there. I took out the phone, started recording, and I think that what struck me the most is as I was looking around and as I was recording, I saw a lot of people praying. They were praying, and so that really, I think that was one of the most impactful ones, just seeing people praying. Next thing you know is this really the end, you know?
Well, and then you were also mentioning that, down the middle of a busy hustle and bustle street, all of a sudden people just stopped in their tracks, put their car into park, and just got out.
Yeah,
I mean, a city of this size,
An entire city just came to a complete stop. Taxi drivers, as they were going, next thing you know, they were scared. They put their car in parking. They ran out of the car, and they were scared. And after the ordeal, people were passing out. It was really hard for the firefighters to get to those people because people were asking whose car is that, whose taxi is that, because everybody was just scared. They didn't feel comfortable getting back into their car.
The whole earthquake one, you said 2 to 3 minutes. Did it feel like a lifetime for you?
You know what, it did. I think that everything just happened, and it felt forever. And even the after effects, the aftershocks, we still felt them throughout the day. And people were really just nervous. We would hear an alarm, a car alarm going off, and people would just pick up and they would start running thinking that it was another earthquake coming our way.
The hotel that you were in, did it have any damage?
It did. It had a lot of structural damage, and it took a while. It took about 3 or 4 hours for the engineers to say that the room was safe. We stayed on the 12th floor, so you can imagine how scary that was. The 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor were absolutely damaged. No one was allowed to stay there. A lot of people stayed in the lobby, and a lot of people also stayed over in the park. And shortly after the earthquake, there was no electricity, there was no cell phone signal, so we lost signal with everybody.
Right, I was reading one of the papers, and everything was gone, and there were gas explosions happening throughout the city. We're just so happy that you're back and that you're with us, Juan, because we you ladies know we love him. I work with you every weekend, and you were the first person that came to my mind, because I knew that we had talked about him being on vacation, and I was going to be on the weekend before that, and so seeing you this morning, it really livens me up. So thanks for joining us, Juan, and we're glad to see you here and that you're part of our family and that you're safe and sound. And as Jamie and Lena said earlier, we're not going to let you go very far. The
no more.
Furthest you can go now is, I don't know, Tucson.
Yeah, Tucson.
Or Flagstaff.
Beautiful this time of year.
No, California.
No.
Back to you, ladies.
No.